Greetings, family, and welcome to another edition of Black Talk Radio, where black media matters and black life certainly matters. Today is Thursday, September 27, 2018. Well, family, if you don't know who this criminal thug is right here, this is that Michael Drejka. He's that 48-year-old thug criminal who used a .40 caliber Glock handgun when he shot Markeis McGlockton on July 19th outside of a Clearwater convenience store. This man pulls up in his vehicle into the parking lot. When you see the video footage, you can see that when he pulled up into the parking lot was almost empty, in which he could have pulled into the stall right in front of the door if he wanted to. But see, this man had another agenda in mind. He had another agenda in mind. He wanted to, first of all, find out who was parked in that handicapped parking stall, as if he owned it, as if that was his prime real estate and he had control over it. And when he pulled into that parking lot, he pulled his vehicle almost at the edge, at the end of the parking stalls that was in the row in front of the store. He decides to pull into the in parking stall, not the one in front of the door where he could have and just easily walked into the store. This man had an agenda. So on the video, you can clearly see he pulled into the parking stall at the very end, okay, next to this car where an African American woman was sitting in the car with her kids. So this thug criminal didn't care about the kids whatsoever. He didn't care that they had kids. The fact is that they were black people, and he wanted to disrespect them and then control them because he felt that he had the power to do that. Well, after all, he knew he was carrying a gun, so it was a premeditated thought. He knew he was carrying a gun, and he knew that in carrying that gun, he could talk to black people how he felt like it, and if any black person did anything to him, he would just turn around and shoot them and claim he stood his ground. That's what these type of criminals do. That's what these type of racists do, because they know that this type of law only works for them and against everyone else. And as life and experience has shown, they are the ones who get away with it the majority of times. I had a troller come on my page and try to tell me that black people benefit the most from stand your ground. These people will say anything they can. It's almost like the boo-boo that comes out of their behind that lands in the toilet. They just feel like they can spew it out of their mouth. And that you should smell it, sniff it, and accept it. I don't think so. I question everything they say and everything they do. That's a requirement. And black folks, if you want to be on code, that's something you should do too. You should put that at the top of your list, that everything that they try to tell you or say or do, you should question it. You really should especially question their white Jesus, but that's a different video. But for now, I just want to speak on this Michael Drejka, because I want to bring this back up. I did the original video where he actually shot Markeis McGlockton. I did that original video where I showed in that video too about the privilege that these white people have. It's called, and I want to put a asterisk on it, because this is something that I'm going to start referring to quite often. It's white injustice system. It's the white injustice system. It has nothing to do with justice at all. I've mentioned this in other videos, and I have to mention it again because this is going to be my message. You guys are running an injustice system. It's a white injustice system. It's comprised of racists, bigots, I want to say neo-Nazis, but we're not in Germany. But nonetheless, it's that type of ideology. And it's disgusting. It's evil. And we can't tolerate it anymore. Not the righteous people of the earth. We cannot continue tolerating this type of system at all. But I'm going to go into the story because I just want to cover it and cover it the way the media is covering, because there's a point to this video that I want you to understand, and that is the propaganda of this white injustice system. Oh yeah, it's very, very deep. It's a very deep injustice system propaganda that they put out. It's when you have a perpetrator like this thug criminal right here, where he shoots an innocent person who was really standing their ground because this monster was outside of the man's car screaming and yelling at his girlfriend and kids. That's all he sees. So Markeis McGlockton was standing his ground, and for doing that without a weapon, this creature shot and killed him. He shot and killed him. And it was all captured on video. And he thought he was going to get away with it until almost a month later, when the white injustice system realized that they made a huge error. Because they're always making huge errors. Huge errors. Why do you think there's so many black men who get exonerated? Even though it's after 10, 20, 30 years. But this system is so screwed up. That's how they run it. It's not run off of righteousness. It's not run off of what's right. It's not a justice system. It has nothing to do with justice whatsoever. This is a white injustice system ran by an evil propaganda. Now, the propaganda in this case is Markeis McGlockton, the victim, who is dead. Do you realize that these white supremacists are in this story here that's posted, and it's written by an Eric Ortiz and Alexandra Bacalio. I don't know what kind of name that second person is, but they wrote this from NBC News. And let me tell you, the story goes into the medical doctors. Do you realize that they are trying to demonize the victim, Markeis McGlockton, the black man who was shot and killed by this demon right here? Do you know that they're trying to demonize the victim like they always do? Like they always do when there's a white man who kills and murders black life. They turn around and try to blame the victim and try to make the victim look bad by smearing the victim. If it's drugs, if it's marijuana, it's something. And in this case, they're doing no different. As I said before, this white injustice system is not based on righteousness or what's right, or reality for that matter. It's based on nothing but lies, deceit, and propaganda. That's what type of injustice system that we've been witnessing all across America. When you have white people coming up with laws that say and claim it's justifiable homicide, people, we have not been paying attention, but these creatures have made it okay to kill human life. That's just so sad. If you believe in any type of God, You're so sad to go along with this. You're so sad to go along with this. So, I don't know what kind of God you believe in, but you're so sad too. But anyways, I'm going to get right into this story. I know I've blabbed a bit on this, but I just wanted to cover a little bit of the basis. So I'm going to cover a little bit more here. And so I already covered the situation of how he got out his car when he could have parked right in front of the doors to go into the store, but how he parked at the end of the parking lot next to this car with black people in it. And then he decided to be the aggressor and pick a fight with the girlfriend in front of her kids. Markeis McGlockton walks out, pushes this guy on the ground like any man would do, standing his ground and protecting his family. But this creature here, this monster here, took out his gun because he knew he had it, because this was all premeditated, mind you, and then he shot and killed this black man. And so basically they're saying Drejka was arrested on a manslaughter charge less than a month after the shooting and was released Monday from jail on bond. So the reason why I call this the white injustice system is because, see, we're seeing one too many times and all too often how they get these manslaughter charges. They never seem to get murder charges for killing black life. This is sickening in and of itself. This is why white trolls come into my channel. I can't even have conversations with them because they're too stupid to even address issues like this. Instead, they deflect to their ignorance. I don't have time for that. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. You should call them on their shit every time. That's what I do. And then that's when they run and scurry off like little roaches, like little rodents, like little rats. But anyways, it says the autopsy found the bullet entered McGlockton's left chest below the nipple, ripped through parts of his lungs and heart, and then lodged on the right side of his armpit at a slightly higher point. That angle would indicate McGlockton was not moving straight toward Drejka. In other words, the medical doctors are proving that any of the white supremacist lies that Markeis McGlockton was going to attack this man is completely false. It's a lie. Do not believe it. The medical doctors have proven this through their autopsy. Don't let these demons lie to you. If you do, you're as stupid as they are. So it says, in addition, the autopsy also found McGlockton had traces, and here we go, people. Here is where the smearing comes into play. Because, see, now that they've established the fact that this man, this white man, is clearly in the wrong for shooting this black man in the first place, now comes the smearing of the victim, so that you don't feel sorry for the victim, so that you don't even look at him as a human. So here's how they put it. Here's the propaganda. This is what they do all the time. Here it goes. The autopsy also found McGlockton had traces of animethamphetamines, MDA, as well as MDMA, the chemical compound found in the street drug ecstasy, when he died. It's unclear how long ago he may have taken them. So they don't know how long ago McGlockton may have taken them, or if he even took it. They said these are chemical compounds found in the drug. They didn't say that he took the drug. So you see, they're so full of garbage every time. And you need to really, really do some analytical thinking when it comes to dealing with these creatures. They're not slick. You need to really open your eyes to who they are. So it continues, it says, Dr. Stephen Nelson, a state medical examiner, told the Tampa Bay Times that the amount found in McGlockton is not unusually high or low, and ingesting the drugs could cause hyperactivity and insomnia. Now, none of this has anything to do with this case than a can of beans, but they have to point this out because, again, they want you to look at the victim as not a victim. They're trying to say that he's on drugs. He's on drugs. Never mind the fact that white people, you guys are always on drugs. You guys have always been the drug lords and the drug kings. If it wasn't for you, white man, we wouldn't even have drugs in America. You have a lot of damn nerves. This is how you do all the damn time, though. The story continues by saying hundreds of pages of new documents in the case released this week also revealed that Drejka told investigators after his arrest that he was taking the anti-anxiety drug Xanax, antidepressants, and sleeping pills, and was consuming 2 Monster energy drinks daily. Do you hear all the contradictions in this bullshit? So he's saying that he's taken an anti-anxiety drug Xanax, he's taken antidepressants and sleeping pills, but yet, on the other hand, he was consuming 2 Monster energy drinks daily. So you're taking some energy drinks and you're consuming some sleeping pills. This man is a liar if I ever smelled crap. I mean, these people lie so much, though. I mean, you can tell. It's like, are you kidding? And yet, when black people tell the truth, they act like we're lying. These creatures are not human. That's all I can say. I don't believe they are. So we're coming to the end. It says, in a jailhouse interview with a local TV station earlier this month, Drejka said he felt the confrontation was started by McGlockton, and he simply, quote, answered him because he feared for his life. So he's claiming that he feared for his life. He says, quote, I didn't know it was a shove, Drejka said. I thought I was tackled. Dude, man, these people, I tell you, this is, and okay, here's the end of it. The case has drawn national interest as another apparent example of the stand your ground argument, which allows Floridans to defend themselves with deadly force if they believe they are in imminent danger or death. Actually, this law means, it says, with deadly force if they believe they are in imminent danger or death and want to kill and get away with murder of black people. That's what this law is. You guys are full of shit. Soon as a black person or anyone else wants to use this stand your ground, you guys deny it. This white injustice system is so foul, nasty, and dirty. It stinks. It stinks. You guys are running a system that's a rat infestation. It's a rat infestation. You guys, that's your program that you have going on. It has nothing to do with justice. Maybe just us black folks, but it has nothing to do with justice. And you guys are allowing criminals, thug criminals like this creature, to commit murder and then post bail. But you got a lot of black folks caged up for marijuana, and you guys are sick. You're sick, sick, sick. Don't even waste your time leaving no comments. I don't want to hear from none of you. Hang it up.